Okay, so I got the link. It's running.
Oh, it's already running.
Yeah, I already set it up. So our live stream is available. I'm going to put this in chat here. So we got Haseen, we got Shilpa here. Fantastic. I like the early birds. So Haseen and Shilpa, do you have any question relating to your pathways that you want to talk about? Because this is our 30 minutes problem solving round, I would say.
Oh, okay. Hello. I'm trying
Hi,
to
Haseen.
just turn on my camera. I think there's some technical problem. So I'm one moment.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, sir. But congratulations on picking up your pathway, Haseen. So you picked up
Yes.
presentation mastery. You will like it, actually.
Yeah. Like I tried different one, but this one is the basic one, which covers, and after that I can choose the other one.
Yes. So once this is done, remember Toastmaster Club still has those 2 awards. If you complete your pathway in a quarter, then we buy you the second pathway for free.
So
We pay for
from this the enrollment date
from the enrollment date.
to
So when you complete your
three
pathway in
months.
3 months, which is a very tight schedule, so
Okay.
you will have to make speeches in other clubs too. Tell me that you are giving a speech at this or that club,
Okay.
and then that speech will count toward your goal.
Okay.
If you can do that, we will buy you the next path for free.
Okay.
Mr.
Yeah.
Bukhari. Mr. Bukhari, were you in Costco a while ago?
Hi everyone. No, actually I wasn't. I don't shop at Costco.
Okay, I saw
Did you see someone that looked
someone.
like me?
Yeah, someone looking just like you, but with
Oh,
mask it is hard to.
I know it is. Everyone
I
looks the
was
same with
about
the
to
mask.
shout out your name, but then I chose to stay quiet.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't. How's everyone else doing?
Good. So we still need Premedin's role has been taken up by Madan Chauhan, and we still are looking for quiz master and a timer. I know you have a role, Muhammad. You are evaluating.
Yeah, I'm doing Haseen's evaluation. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So your Haseen, so Rajendran is evaluating second speaker, and I am evaluating the first speaker. And we can also look for anyone who wants to be GE as well. I just put my name there as I didn't see anyone coming forward, and we are seeing many people sending their apologies for not being able to be in the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
We accept the apologies unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
So Haseen, do you have any issues with pathways? Anything that you want me to help you with?
Yeah, like because I started the pathway after giving my icebreaker speech. So like,
Okay.
and
So when you go on your when you open your pathway and you open your curriculum,
yes,
you will start with your icebreaker. You
yes,
have already given speech for the icebreaker. If you do not want to repeat it, so you just open the module
yes,
and keep scrolling through it.
yes,
And then once it is completed, then you will move to the second speech. And second speech was, I guess, feedback, evaluation and feedback.
yes,
So the purpose of that speech is to give a speech for 5 to 7 minutes duration and then seek feedback and evaluation from the club.
yes.
So you can repeat, you can use the feedback and evaluations for your next speech. That's why it says feedback and evaluation 1, feedback and evaluation 2. And you can do the second speech, it could be any other speech, but you
Yes.
can implement the feedbacks and suggestion given to you during your first speech in the
Okay.
second speech. So that will be your project number 2. And this will cover the speech and evaluation. Feedback and evaluation is in 2 components.
Yes.
1 you receive, and second you implement, and then give speech again. It could be the same speech, it could be different speech, doesn't matter, anything.
Okay.
So are you using feedback and evaluation part 1 today?
No, because for the feedback was not given to me after this icebreaker. So like,
No, the first thing, the first part is for you to just give a speech
okay,
and pick up that topic, that it is speech from pathway presentation mastery, and the module is, so the topic is feedback and evaluation.
okay,
That is the
okay,
project, right?
okay,
So project is feedback and evaluation 1, and speech is from presentation mastery.
okay. So like I have to give the speech, and at the same time,
You have to
today
give the
I
speech.
will, yes.
So when someone so your speech will be evaluated by who is you are third speaker, and your Bukhari will evaluate your speech.
Yes.
So listen to what Bukhari says, and
Yes.
then you can even make notes.
Yes.
And then implement that. But remember one thing, whatever evaluation Mr. Bukhari gives you, that
Yes.
is his personal opinion, how he felt as an audience. It
Yes.
does not reflect
Yes.
the impression of the entire group.
Yes. Okay.
Only in the eyes of Mr. Bukhari.
Yes.
Right? Some people take second hidden evaluators. So whatever Mr. Bukhari gives, then there is someone who says, okay, I will be evaluating you in the background. So
Okay.
you can use those 2 evaluations together, and this
Okay.
is how people start working on it.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
Yeah. And I have just a little video here about this was given by, the speech was given by someone in the evaluation contest. If this is something you guys will be benefited, it is right here. Let me know if you are getting sound.
Yep. Paul O'Mahony has hit a hole-in-one with that. Contest chair, friends, I loved Paul's structure today. He started by saying he had 3 interesting tips for us, which drew us in. Then he told us what they were, which added value. And then finally, he summarized them. There was a clear beginning, middle, and end. And what that did was it made the speech easy to follow. And because Paul intertwined each of those parts with the theme of golf, it made it unique as well. Secondly, I also loved his gestures, a real range of gestures from Paul. We had some big ones, a big shed, and then some small, intricate ones when showing us how to grip a golf club. I know, Paul, that's not right, is it? And I also loved his voice. It was loud and it was proud. It was striking, like hearing a ball get hit off the tee on a golf course. But what I loved most of all was the value of the speech. Those 3 tips of breathing through your speech, having a grip on yourself, and having a purpose are stuff which everyone in this room can use. So it's clear that Paul knows his audience very well. In terms of improvements, I have 2 for Paul. The first one is to do with his voice. Although Paul was loud and proud and striking, I would like to see him use the softer tones to draw us in, like his 3rd tip stated. For example, when Paul said, the best speakers have a great sense of purpose. I think if Paul had slowed things down there, lowered his voice, and paused like I did, it would be more impactful. It would have drawn us in and made us think more about what he had just said. My second point for improvement is to do with the structure, well, the end rather, of Paul's speech. You may notice that at the beginning of Paul's speech, he started with 3 questions. He said, would you like to become a sterling speaker? And that was really captivating. It was brilliant. For that reason, I would like to see Paul end with 3 questions as well to create a nice loop. He could have used his 3 points, for example, by saying something like, so for your next speech, will you have a purpose? Will you have a grip on yourself? Will you breathe through your speech? Because if you can do that, you can become a great speaker. If he had ended like that by summarizing his points in a captivating manner for creating that loop, I think this speech would be more compelling and the call to action would be even more clear. But overall, this was a scintillating speech. I loved the structure, the gestures and voice, and also the value too. If you can make those adjustments, Paul, to your voice and also the end there by ending with the 3 questions, this speech can be even better. And I have to say, it has been an absolute pleasure seeing you play on the course today. Contest chair.
Yes.
So this
Oh,
speech
is that a
was part
review?
of,
Sorry, Paul, was that a review for you?
once again. Sorry, I was listening to myself.
Yeah, I was asking, was that a review of your speech?
Seems like, because by coincidence,
I
he
know.
was referring to me. Sometimes I become very clever, so I use those tactics. Mr. Madan Chauhan, wow, awesome to see you, sir. I was really disappointed when you posted that you will not be coming here. And I said, oh my God, without the light, it will be darkness. But glad you are here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we can't afford to miss you, sir.
Well, I couldn't, but I was in the situation, but then it changed, so I'm here.
Very good. So we're just reviewing some videos about evaluations, how people conduct evaluation. So evaluation is technically a mini speech. It is speaker's speech summary given in evaluator's own terminology, how he felt, how he connected with the speech, and it never represents the entire club. If 4 people evaluate you, Haseen, 4 people will give you different suggestions.
Yes.
But because this is a learning curve for evaluators and for the speakers at the same time to know how to better evaluate it, so this gives opportunity for development for each and every one of us.
Yes.
I know Mr. Bukhari is a very hard evaluator, so be aware that he is a hard hitter. Mr. Carlton, I am really happy to see you here. I thought you won't be joining.
No, I'm always looking forward to joining the meeting, Paul. Even last week when
You were driving last week.
I was driving last week, yeah, but I still needed to show up. I'm sad that I cannot take on a role. That, you know, I love taking on a role because there's always something you can learn when taking on
Yes.
a role, and you're more active in the meetings. So yeah, it's just,
Role is basically what makes it way better. You rightly said that.
yeah.
When you are evaluating, you are listening at the same time. This is like double-edged benefits.
Yeah, I think I spoke when I had called Mr. Chauhan. I had called you, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and you summed it up perfectly. You know, you gave me a gem. You said by serving others, you end up serving yourself and you get something back as well, right? So taking on a simple thing like taking on a grammarian role or a timer role,
Yeah,
you learn something as well.
it makes you more aware. When you are noting down others' R's and M's, guess what? You start checking yourself at the same time. Oh my God, I need to be more in control of what I say. Just now, I was going to say ah.
There you go.
I got a pause in between, and I compiled my thoughts again and changed the sentence. It
Exactly.
is so common to use something, then a 1 milliseconds pause takes out.
Mhm.
Your speech becomes different. I
Yeah,
just said it.
I hope, you know, sooner rather than later that we can all have our meetings in person, Paul, because when you have the meeting in person and you give a speech in person, it is way different than giving a speech on the computer.
It's a different level.
Yeah, the
It's a
computer
different
is more
level.
like we're training for the real thing. When
But I notice people are getting lazy these days. We will have to give them Bornvitas, give enough strength so they can brave the cold and come back again. So one jar of Bornvita to everyone who comes to the meeting.
there you go.
Coffee works too.
Coffee? Okay. Well, coffee at all the meetings sponsored by Paul Chima.
Yes.
How about that?
Very good.
I can bring coffee. It's you asked for something very simple, but yes, very effective. Caffeine. So I'm on green tea most of the time these days.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. Remember, I cut down about 24 pounds to date.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have belly now.
Oh, good. How do you feel though? Do you feel better?
Oh, I'm wearing this slim fit shirt today.
Oh, really? It
Wow.
doesn't look like slim fit. It looks more baggy.
My fat has all gone away, and I feel so positive and happy about myself. No, mirror
Wow.
likes me. I like mirror more now.
Wow.
Okay, excellent. And how is everyone else doing?
Good, Carlton. You? How you been, man?
Good. Yeah, I have. Last time I seen all of you guys were at the picnic, right? In
Well, that was
person.
actually fun though. Yeah, the picnic, of course.
Carlton has joined a basketball team,
Yeah.
and he will be away for most of the meetings. I guess you should wear a jersey with Malton Toastmasters written on it.
Yeah, you should. Sponsored by FCTC.
Sponsored by FCTC. Yeah, you'll have the Toastmasters logo on the jersey.
Toastmasters logo on the jersey.
Instead of
If
a
you had told us,
it'll
if
be
you had told us like 3-4 weeks ago, we would have actually bought you one. Wear it so people would ask you, "Hey, what's this?" Then you could say, "This is Toastmasters."
Hey, hi guys. Good evening,
Good evening, Mr. President.
Hey, Satish, how are you?
Mr. VP and fellow Toastmasters. How are you?
Fantastic.
Excellent.
I'm so happy that I'm seeing you all here.
Likewise.
Anupama just joined, but I don't see her on the screen now. or maybe she couldn't. Even Mr. Chauhan tried signing up a couple of times.
Yeah, same with me though. It was I got an issue there too. Like it wasn't letting me join at first.
Yeah, blame it on Raj because he's the Zoom master.
So we have a full team today. Wow, awesome.
Anyone who gets problem joining, Raj is going to pay you $50 per failed instance.
Hi everyone.
Hello, Anupama. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Nice seeing you here. Beautiful. I'm happy that you are becoming regular now. This is super awesome. We must be doing something good to have your gracious presence.
Well, thanks.
Belated birthday wishes, Madanji. Hope you had a wonderful birthday.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank
happy
you.
birthday
Thank
to
you. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday to you. Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear
Madan
Uncle.
Happy
Birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
Thank
Are you
you.
16? Are you 20? Are you 24?
28.
28.
28.
Cheers. That's beautiful. 82 now, right?
28.
Yeah,
28.
28.
He's doing a wrong evaluation.
Oh wow, Carlton is on. Great to see Carlton. No basketball today.
No, I do have basketball. I'm going to be leaving soon, but I'm going to still join virtually while I drive as well, Satish. So, yeah.
Okay.
And be safe, Carlton. Be safe.
Yeah, no, definitely. Even though I can't take on a role, I still like listening to the speeches because there's always something I can come away with. So definitely.
How long is this basketball thing? Is it a forever thing or is it something?
8 or 9 sessions.
Only until December, the first week of December. So I think we only have maybe like another few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basketball is something you play with a tennis racket, right?
There is a net.
No, actually with the ping pong back thing.
And
three outs too.
No. They play with a stick. They play with a stick.
With a cricket bat?
With a stick.
No, with a
hockey
stick.
stick.
It's a combination of every sport.
Just like Gulli Danda.
So, okay. So we have Madan Chauhanji doing grammarian role. Anupama, we freed your role so that you can only focus on one role. You had one role as table topic master. So Mr. Madan Chauhan, so that you can actually enjoy the meeting rather than focusing too much on all these things.
That's I was very well prepared to explain the meaning of hyperbole.
Well, we just want to help you. If you are okay,
That's fine. I was okay, but even if Madan Uncle won't take
If you want to do it, you can do it.
I have timers and I have quiz master role open, so I think I can give both to Mr. Chauhan.
I can become a timer. I will show these cards there. Then these are the handy with me.
Have the card. So you continue with your grammarian role then.
Okay.
Mr. Chauhan,
Woman do that.
would you be handing just timer or you would be handing quiz master as well?
I'll be handing a timer because I'll be watching my clock.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
I can take the quiz master.
Satish, you already have a role somewhere as first speaker.
He's evaluator, I think. Is he?
He is first speaker, and no, he's not an evaluator, only speaker and Mr. President. That's 2 roles he has.
Yeah.
Raj has a evaluation. I would rather have Raj if he's okay with Quizmaster role.
Sure.
No, sorry. So I have 3 roles today.
Okay, what role are you? So you're Sergeant at Arms, okay.
And
You're evaluator. That's fine. You're Toastmaster Day as well?
Yes.
Oh, he's a Toastmaster. Okay.
Oh, okay. No,
wow,
that's fine.
awesome.
So I will take care of the quiz then. Anyone wants to pick up GE because I also have GE here.
Yeah, I can do GE.
Okay, then I will put you as GE, Satish. And I will, so GE is Satish. and Quizmaster is Paul. So now the new roles at the moment are grammarian stays Anupama, timer is Mr. Chauhan, and GE is Satish. Paul will be Quizmaster, no humorist, timer, and that's it. So we are good to go.
Our counter.
We can just combine these two together, our counter and grammarian.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have enough member in the meeting.
Okay.
If we have 15, 18 members, then yeah, we can split the roles.
Thank you.
I
Okay.
would like to see who is the winner of filler words today, if we can know that. Who uses more filler words? We give him an award.
Give him an award. Okay. I think it's 6 o'clock. We can get started if we have enough members to the meeting.
Yes, we are good to go.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. It's my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the MCTC Toastmasters Club. And my name is Rajendran Kalishwarmurthy. I'm going to be the Sergeant at Arms for this meeting today. And before we begin the meeting, I would like to start the meeting with the mission statement of MCTC and Toastmasters Club. Here at MCTC, we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Okay, without further ado, I would like to pass on the control to our President, Distinguished Toastmaster, Mr. Satish Prabhuji, to take over the meeting.
Thank you, Rajendran. You have matured as a SAA. Do a great job. Like the way you handle the SAA part. Welcome everyone to another great Malton Toastmasters Community Club. It's October already. We have had really great weather. Summer almost lasting until a couple of days ago. I hope you all took time to enjoy it. We are now going into the fall weather, and the scenarios around my house with leaves falling everywhere reminds of the change that is constant in our life. As Toastmasters, we took the first step to develop and enhance our skills. The second step is for you to grow once you join. If there is no growth happening within you, then the journey is going to be too long and not efficient. I will urge each one of us today to take whatever steps it takes for you to go to the next level. If that means reaching out to another fellow member, to the president, to the VPE, any of the execs, please do it. We are all a family. We need to work together as a family. It's not only during the meetings that we need to be together and talk to each other. I think we can do a little more better job of reaching out and supporting each other even when the meetings are not on, especially because our club, unlike other clubs, only meets twice a month, which means we have less time that we can use or utilize to grow ourselves in the meetings. We need to dedicate more time and commit that time to our own growth by making sure that you are constantly plugged into the Toastmasters. So let's take that promise today to ourselves and do whatever it needs, you need to make sure that you are growing rather than being stagnant in one place. With that, I would like to pass it back to our Toastmaster of the day, Rajendran Kalishwaran. Please give him a big round of applause because this is the first time he's going to open the meeting as a Toastmaster.
Thank you, Mr. President. So good evening, all once again. So as I said, like as Satish said, like I'm going to do it for the first time as a Toastmaster of the day. And I'm here to learn the most as so before we begin the meeting, I would like to explain the structure of this meeting to the fellow Toastmasters. And I don't think we have any guests here, so I'll wrap it up quick. The meeting is divided into 3 parts. The first part is prepared speeches where speakers give their prepared speech to achieve their projects and levels. And the second part is the second session is the table topics round, where the members given a chance to speak on their own feet. And the third and final round is the evaluation round, where our general evaluator and his team will provide constructive and detailed feedback about the speeches and the overall session, how we conducted the session. And before we begin, I would like to talk a few words about the theme of the day, this meeting. So today's theme is Unbox Your Talents. We all know, all of us, every one of us has a talent. I think to survive in this world, honestly. And some of us might have discovered our talents much earlier. Some of us might still be struggling to discover the talent that we already have in us. And for sure, I believe that every individual has talent within themselves. It's just a matter of a spark to trigger and then bring it out. I have a few tips which I have read to discover the talents. And one is, or the best technique is to sit back and think about your past. That is one thing that where in childhood memories are the answers where you can find the talent that you had already discovered and then you never pursued or the second, the one is to take some tests or personality tests, something like there are a lot of online tests to do personality tests these days. These are the tests to help you to gauge your potential and the skills which you have not discovered yet, because you might have been good at sports or maths, even in English or something in the past, but you didn't realize it. And I would like to close this by a quote saying that human never underestimate your life. It is most precious, and you don't know what talents are hidden within you, and what you have to offer to the world. So yeah, that's all I have to talk about this theme of this meeting. And as we get into the meeting, it is my duty to introduce the roles or the role members who are going to play the roles today. First, I would like to call our timer, who is going to keep a track of all of the timings of this meeting. So Mr. Distinguished Toastmaster, Mr. Madan Chauhan, please help me to welcome Mr. Madan Chauhan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. As our Toastmaster mentioned about the hidden talent, to manage time is another hidden talent. We all hear and say, time as money. If we waste our time, we're obviously wasting our money. So I will try not to waste any time. I'll keep a track on everything that's happening here. Some are like prepared speeches, which is according to the time is mostly 5 to 7 minutes. 5 minutes, I show you the green card. Then I show you the 6 minutes yellow card and 7 minutes red card. That's what I show you. And you will have a 30-second grace period before 5 minutes and after 7 minutes. Table topics are mostly 1 to 2 minutes, 1 minute green, 1.5 minutes yellow, and 2 minutes being red. And I will also be timing other speakers, other members of the club who were doing their roles accordingly. So that's my role, and back to you. Thank you. You're muted.
Sorry. Thank you. And the next, to track good and not so good usage of grammar, and as well as the R counter, we have our Toastmaster Anupama to do the grammarian role for this meeting. Please help me to welcome Anupama, the grammarian.
Hi, my fellow Toastmaster members. So as a grammarian, my role will be give word of the day today and also watch the filler words. We have to be mindful when we speak. Try not to use too many filler words so we can get proper control on what we speak. The word of the day today will be hyperbole. The meaning of this word is exaggerated statements or claim not meant to be taken literally. So in simple words, as an example, I would say, if I say, I am so hungry, I can eat a horse. This is an example of hyperbole. So another example is, I walked 1,000,000 miles to get here. So these are over exaggerated statements. So the meaning of hyperbole is, I believe, clear to you. The similar word we can say exaggerations. Okay, let me give you this word in a sentence so we can use it in our today's conversation. My aunt is a drama queen. She was hyperbole in almost every sentence. Another sentence for using this word is, hyperbole is unacceptable when speaking in court. So this hyperbole we usually use a lot in our conversations. So try to use, as we are 7-8 members here today, so I will not give a big target to use this word. So I would say at least 10 times. So I will watch who will use this word today in their conversations. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day today. And thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Anupama. Next, I would like to call the general evaluator for this meeting to introduce his team. Today's general evaluator is going to be Toastmaster, Mr. Satish Prabhuji. So please help me to welcome our general evaluator, Satish.
Thank you, Rajendran. Usually a general evaluator is not called on to explain the role, but I will. General evaluator leads the third session, where the evaluation session. He will basically have a team of members that will help evaluate the whole meeting, starting with the speech evaluators, and then followed by the timers report, the grammarian report, and finally the quiz master. And that would conclude with a report by the general evaluator himself or herself. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you for correcting me. So we are now entering into the first part of this meeting, the prepared speeches. Today, on this meeting, so we have, I would like to call the evaluator of the first speech, our Toastmaster Paul Chimaji, to introduce the speaker and the title of the speech. So please help me to welcome Paul Chima to introduce the speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Table Toastmaster of the Day. So the speech title for of Mr. Satish Prabhu is "Are You Properly Insured?" And he's speaking from Presentation Mastery, project number 1. And this is second speech, evaluation and feedback. His first speech, evaluation and feedback. And on this, the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to his second speech. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. Over to you, Satish.
Now, I would ask you to please invite him upstage, like speaker, topic speaker. Thank you.
Okay. So it's Mr. Satish Prabhu, and the title is "Are You Properly Insured?" Are you properly insured, Mr. Satish Prabhu?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Rajendran, you're doing a splendid job. So keep your confidence up. So doing really great. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Are you properly insured? I'm sure every one of us is aware of what is insurance. Can anybody explain in a short sentence what is insurance?
Insurance is protection of your income. So if something happens to you, your income is protected during the period you are not working.
Absolutely. That is one definition. That is absolutely correct, Mr. Paul.
Yeah,
So,
for me, my answer is almost similar to what Paul has said, but I believe insurance is also something that can protect you and your family. And if anything happens to any of your assets, like for example, car accident, a fire in your house, insurance is something that can protect you from that.
Well, awesome, awesome. Okay, I think we all understand what is insurance. So basically, insurance is a way for us human beings to make sure that the risk of anything happening, as Paul mentioned or as Muhammad mentioned, is taken care of. So it's basically a way for you to manage the risk associated with something that you don't want to happen in your life. And that is basically what is insurance. And how do you manage risk? I'm sure many of us have already gone through this scenarios as well. When there is a risk, how do you tackle it? One way to manage risk is to avoid it completely. So for example, if it was a car, you can say, you know what, I'm never going to own a car. That way you never have to drive and therefore not have that insurance. So you are avoiding that risk completely. The other one is to reduce the risk. Now the reducing of the risk here means instead of a car, you'll say, you know what, I will drive only up to my station or the closest place. So I'm not driving the whole distance. So you're reducing the thing that can happen to you. Or you say, I'm going to take my bike or I'm going to walk. So that is one way of managing that risk. The third one is to retain it. When you retain a risk, you're basically saying, I don't care, I will deal with whatever happens at that point. You accept. And that could be a reason because you have a lot of money, you have enough, or you feel comfortable facing that risk. You know that you can overcome that risk because you are properly protected because of some money that you have somewhere. And the last one is transfer. You transfer the risk that you are going to face to somebody else. And that somebody else is basically your insurance company. And that is what we all, or most of us, do. Do you have insurance? I think we all do. If you are a driver, it is illegal for you to drive without having proper insurance. So if all of you are drivers, or if you have a driver in the home, you will all definitely be aware that you need to have an auto insurance. If you own a home or you are a renter, then you have something called a tenant insurance, which protects your home from accidents or other things that can happen to you and saves you from costly repairs. There are other kinds, and I was trying to find all the different kinds of insurance. There are a lot of things that you will not even believe, but you can actually get insurance for those things as well. So I'm not going to go into that detail. I will, for the sake of time, I'm just going to go forward to something that we all understand, but we never deal with, or many of us don't deal with. There is something called a theory of decreasing responsibility. What is the theory of decreasing responsibility? When you are young, married, let's take somebody like Rajendran. You are married, young, you have kids, but you also own a house, but which is mortgaged, so which means you have high debt. This is part of your younger years, your early years. Now, when you take on too much debt, that means you have too much liability. That means you are under a lot of risk if anything bad were to happen to you. If for some reason something bad happens to you, that loss of income would be felt really badly by your family if they are not properly covered by insurance. And this is why you have this responsibility that is very high when you are young. When you are old and you are about to retire, or as you go older and you are about to retire, you have made a lot of money. You have also saved a lot of money. You have children that have probably grown up. You're also paid off or about to pay off your debt. And at that point, your focus changes from having insurance to having retirement income. So the idea here is, once you retire, do you have enough money to save that would protect you and make sure that you're able to spend that money as long as you live? So this is what as you can see, in the earlier years, you don't have a lot of money, but in the later years, you do have a lot of money. But is that enough for you to continue as income? And this is where the insurance idea comes in. So you need a lot of insurance, and the need of your insurance is usually very temporary. It could be up to the time you retire, for most of us. Again, the situation is all personal, depends on your personal circumstances, and you may have to talk to somebody who knows about insurance and they can guide you. What are the different types of life insurance you have? Term, whole, and universal. And there is something else called the mortgage insurance. Now, as it says, the term insurance is for a specific period of time. Whole insurance is for your whole life, as is the universal life. The whole insurance and the universal life, they are similar, but the whole insurance, the premiums are stable. That means you're paying the same premium when you purchase. Whereas universal life, you're paying flexible premiums. That means it changes as you grow older. all of them give you tax-free death benefit. So if you die in the event of your death, the benefit that you get out of it is all tax-free. The whole life and universal life are a different product where they're a little complicated. The universal life has some investments built into it, and the whole life has some savings that you may or may not get when it matures. How much insurance do you need? All depends on your personal circumstance. You have to sit with somebody who is a licensed insurance advisor. They can look at your personal circumstances, look at the liabilities that you have, and consider the situation, what if scenario, and see what are your real needs. And based on that, they can guide you and give you the right advice. And there are different reasons why you would need insurance, not just to protect your income. It may also be to do charitable donations or to leave a legacy for your children or to somebody else's child, like your niece, nephew, whatever it is. So the last step in your process to find proper insurance for yourself or somebody in your home you love is to talk to a licensed insurance professional, and they can guide you and work with you. With that, I'd like to pass it back to the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Satishji. And the next...
Please give 1 minute for the notes.
Okay. Sorry.
Raj, I think the time is up.
Okay, thank you. So the next speaker, Okay, good. So I myself will be introducing the next speaker as the evaluator. Today we have the second speaker is going to be Shilpa Manjunath, and she's doing her level 1 project 2. The title of her speech is The Power of Letter B, Dream to Achieve 3 Bs. And the purpose of the speech is to, she wants to excel in her speech by reducing the R counters. And I would like to welcome Shilpa Manjunath to give her speech, The Power of Letter B, Dream to Achieve 3 Bs. Shilpa Manjunath, please. Over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Evaluator. Good evening to all fellow Toastmasters. I'll just give my introduction. First, how as a new immigrant, everyone would have faced some challenges. So even I also had some challenges. So when we moved to Brossard, it's outskirts in Montreal. It's a Montreal. And I felt something I lost there. I was feeling bored. I don't know what to do. So I asked my husband, please give me a suggestion what I can improve myself, or how can I be happy. So my husband suggested, go target for 3 B's in your life. So the first B is to be bold. Second one, beautiful, to be beautiful, to feel beautiful. The third one is to bright, to make yourself bright, or to be a better person. So when suddenly I thought bold, oh, what does this bold means to me? It's like bold font. When we usually create a document in Microsoft Word, we have a font with bold letters, right? So which makes everyone just attractive. So I thought, oh yeah, so but how to implement this as a person? So he told me, Shilpa, it's to be confident. You don't know that? Yeah, yes. How to be confident in the Francophone community? When I went there, everyone speaks French as a first language. So how will I talk to them? How can I express my thought to them? I was literally lost again. So I took bold decision to go for evening classes, French classes. I learned almost 1.5 years. I learned until level 3. I made myself confident to speak with neighborhood, at least speak some basic communication. I can, even while shopping, it can be through phone conversation. I learned even driving. While driving, it's a must. In driving test, it's a must to know some of the road signs in French. So at first attempt, I could clear my theoretical exam. So all this made me wonderful. At last, I was feeling very wonderful. I felt very happy that I achieved something in my life. So the second B is beautiful. I asked my husband, hey, today one of my friends invited to the party. I don't have beautiful dress to wear. I don't have handbags, beautiful handbags, or the guest bags to show them. I don't have anything. How can I go to the party? It's very difficult for me. I was feeling very, it's not good, like bad. So my husband told, no, beauty lies in your heart. It's not the way you express to yourself and giving a big, beautiful smile and giving supportive hands when someone needs. And not only that, when you wake up in the morning with a big, beautiful smile, that gives you a lot of energy. And not only that, by saying, I love yourself unconditionally, that makes you more, gives encouragement to yourself to be brighter the whole day. Not only that, I forgive myself. So everyone makes mistake in their life. So we have to just overcome those mistakes. We don't need to repeat those mistakes again. So we have to overcome that. So again, after that, the third one is I accept whatever I am today. So life has given, like, I have everything good. So I should accept whatever I have now. So these are the 3 rules I usually apply to me, like when I wake up in the morning every day. So this made me giving more encouragement to myself to compete with my family, not only outside with my friends. Not only that, even at work, to be more supportive to my team members. So the third is the last one is to be bright. So I know that when we light a lamp, usually we light a lamp in the morning and the evening. So it gives you bright, it makes you come out of the darkness. You just light a lamp. So that our room will be brighter. Not only that, the sun when comes, it penetrates through the window and makes your hall bright hall. It gives you brightness. So I was thinking how to apply this technique to my life. So it is something that we need to be smarter in every aspect, in every work we do. Either it can be inside in the family or outside with friends or at work. So how shall I plan this to do? Like, so as a team, I've given a suggestion to my team members: take a shortcut. Don't develop from scratch. You're getting resources, great resources from the Google. Just internet, get the tips from Google. Instead of developing from scratch, why can't you get the examples directly and implement, just customize yourself accordingly to your requirement, and we complete it on time and deliver in a faster way and a productive way. So these are the 3 techniques I use in my life, 3 B's in my life to make a better person. Hope you also will implement these 3 B's in your life to make a better person. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed my speech.
Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you very much. He definitely enjoyed your speech. And next, the third and final speaker.
1 minute silent.
1 minute silence, sir, after every speech.
Time is up.
Okay. So now I would like to call the third speakers. The evaluator of the third speaker today to introduce the topic and the speaker. Our Toastmaster, Mr. Mohammad Bukhari. Please, Mohammad Bukhari, over to you. Please introduce the speaker and the title.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the day, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters. So today I have the privilege and honor of being an evaluator for our newest member, Mr. Haseen Ahmed. And today, as per his speech, Mr. Haseen Ahmed is going to be doing speech 2 from the presentation Mastery Manual, which is evaluation and feedback. And his speech timings are from 5 to 7 minutes. So whatever he will learn in today's, he does in today's speech, and whatever feedback he gets, his role will be to use that feedback effectively into his next speech. So without any further ado, I'd like to give it back to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammad Bukhari. So can I get the title of the
speech? Yeah, sure. So speech title is Are We Living in a Single World?
Okay, thank you. So thank you, Bukhari. So it's going to be our fellow Toastmaster Haseen Ahmed. The title is Are We Living in the Single World? Are we living in the single world, Haseen Ahmed? Please help me to welcome Haseen Ahmed.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. The topic of my title is Are We Living in a Single World? What do you think? Are we living in a single world? I used to think that I'm living in a single world, but I learned so many other things, that we are living in two worlds simultaneously. One is our external world, and other is our internal world. In the external world, what we look, that I'm having a Zoom meeting, there's a sky outside, there are so many things. This is our external world. But there is another world, which is my internal world inside of me. What I am thinking, what are the fears, what is in my mind, in my subconscious mind. So that is my internal world. And these two worlds are interconnected. What is going in our external world, it impacts our internal world. And the same thing, what is going inside of us, it impacts the external world. So these are interconnected with each other. Why is it important? There's one saying that if you are trying to find something, then you have to decide that where to look at that. If, for example, if someone has lost a car, so do you think that finding that car in the kitchen is the good place to find? No, that is not a good place. You have to see somewhere else. You are at the wrong place. So it's the same thing for this world. There are so many things which we try to find in the wrong world, like fears, happiness, success, failure. These are all the attributes of our internal world, and we try to find in the external world. And these are also connected with each other. Like sometimes we are stuck in a traffic, so we become mad that, oh, why there's so much traffic? We are getting late. I'm getting late. So the external world is impacting my internal world. And the same way, sometimes I'm happy. So if I see the world, everything looks happy. There's a bright light, there's a sunlight, the trees looks like they're happy, the people are looking happy, but they are the same. I am happy. And same thing if I'm sad. So it's the same thing, that everything looks sad. The same thing is the fear. Fear is not lies in outer world. It is in our inside. Because I'm related to a construction field, so the buildings, the projects. So first, these are constructed in two phases. One is, first, the architect thinks the building in his mind, that okay, that should be the building, the outlook of the building inside. And then in the second phase, this is converted and transferred to the drawings. It is transferred, then it is constructed. So the first is the internal world, and then it is shown to the external, or the other world, the external world looked at project. The same thing is the fear. I remember when I was in university. So after there was some preparation exam. So for 1 month, I didn't go to the university in that 1 month. And after that, there was the first day of the exam. When I went there, so I couldn't find any person there. I was so surprised that what's going on, like why there is exam today and there's no person. So at that time, then I came out, because at that time the cell phones were not so common. So I came out from the university, and then I called my friend and asked that what's going on, like there's no person in the university, today is the exam. So he said, do you know that there's a fighting is going on between the student union and some student political parties? So you are lucky that you are alive. Otherwise, someone would have targeted you. So I got scared. That it was the same university, but I didn't have a courage to go again to see that whether he's saying right or not, or just to see, because there was a fear inside of me. So overall, the success and failure is also the same thing. If we want to be successful, then we have to see ourselves successful. Success is not from outside in, it is from inside out. First, we have to see ourselves successful, and in the second phase, this world will see us successful. Thank you to Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Hazina Ahmad. We'll be in silence for a minute for the timers to take the notes and the evaluators.
I'm up.
Okay, thank you, Madanji. So we are moving on to the second part of this meeting. To provide us with the challenge for today's table topics round, we have the table topics. We have the table topics master who will be conducting the sessions today. And it's going to be Anupama. So please help me in welcoming the table topics master of the day, Toastmaster Anupama.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, and my fellow Toastmaster members giving me this opportunity to be table topic master today. So table topic are the most interesting segment of every Toastmaster meeting, because it gives us chance to think on our own feet, and it also develop our skills in quick thinking. There are so many situations happen where we face different kind of question. We never hear, we never learn anything about that, but we have to give answer on that. So it gives us chance to develop that skill, how smartly we can think about, even we do not know about that topic, how smartly we can answer on that. So one thing in table topic, adding table topic in our meeting is giving chance to the members who are not playing any role in the meeting, so they can speak. And the other thing is it give us opportunity, it tests our ability, how we can quickly organize our thoughts and can speak on prompted questions and topics. So we have to be mindful on using our thoughts and answering the question I will ask today. My topics will be on Thanksgiving. We recently have Thanksgiving weekend, and we all enjoyed that. And I thought about some questions and I believe you will find them interesting. Thanksgiving is combination of friends, football, food, drinks, and I hope we all enjoyed that Thanksgiving with our friends. First of all, the question I have in front of me, and I would like to ask, I think Carlton can speak on the topic. He's not driving or anything. Are you good, Carlton, if I ask you?
Go ahead, Anupama.
Are you good to speak if I ask you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Go ahead.
Okay, Carlton, you just enjoyed last Thanksgiving weekend. Tell us most memorable event you have, something you find very interesting in that weekend, how you enjoyed it.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Miss Toastmaster, for that question. So my most memorable Thanksgiving, there has been so many memorable Thanksgiving, but I would have to say the one that just passed last week had to be the most memorable because it was very special. One of my cousins from Mumbai had come over to Canada about 3 years ago, and he actually got engaged as well at our house. So it was a very happy Thanksgiving for the family, as we have some family here and some family in Mumbai. And we were joined with them over WhatsApp, and it was just a happy celebration of just love and wishing them prosperity on their journey as a new couple. And it was overall a good message, because as we come out of COVID-19, I know it's been challenging for a lot of us. And I just want to just say, yeah, that was a very memorable Thanksgiving. And I'm not too sure how I can use the word hyperbole, but I could say hyperbole. In terms of using the word hyperbole for this question, I'll have to, give it another try. Back to you, Ms. Toastmaster.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carlton. That was a very enjoyable weekend for you. You didn't even enjoy with your friends, but you have engagement party as well. And I hope you have great fun in that long weekend. Okay, next, I think if I ask Mr. Paul, what is the best advice you ever received? If you can give your thoughts on this question.
Thank you very much, Madam Table Topic Master. This is a very interesting and mind-provoking question. So you actually made me think back and see. So what the best advice I ever received was from a book called How to Make Friends and Influence Others. I forgot the author's name. The title is maybe slightly off the chart.
Dale
That's the intent. Yeah, Dale Carnegie. So the biggest thing I learned, the advice that I keep in my mind all the time, unless the water flows over my head, is do not offend anyone. Do not try to belittle other people, because you may win an argument, but you will lose a person forever. So I keep that advice in my mind 24/7, 365, and never lose sight of it, because that is so true. Some people are unaware and they start insisting on something which is wrong. A criminal who has killed 200 people will never say he's wrong. He will always justify himself. And now you are arguing with him, then you are going to maybe lose a chance to even correct him. I was working with a client, showing him a property, and he's anti-vaccination guy. And he said, Paul, why have you mask on yourself? Are you trying to protect yourself from me? I have to be very tactful in handling that question so he doesn't get annoyed, and I don't want to challenge his belief. And I'm no authority to correct people. People learn by their own experiences. So this is the biggest advice, and that same advice I want to give to each one of you. Never try to win an argument, win a person over. Thank you. Back to you, Madam Toastmasters.
Thanks, Mr. Paul. That is a good. I will be hyperbole if I will say we do not need advice. We all need some advice, time to time, to remind us, even though we know everything, but it's good. That is wonderful, Mr. Paul. Now I will ask Mr. Bukhari, share a time when you had a need and how it was met.
How was met? All right.
How
Thank
was
you
it
very
met?
Okay. Thank you very much, Table Topic Master. The question that I had is it's a very mind-provoking question. Like, I have a lot of needs and not all of them can be met right away, right? So about a time when I had a need and it had to be met. Okay, this is kind of a funny answer, but there was a time where when I was craving food from outside. So what I ended up doing, I ended up taking my car, driving out it was a bad weather, it was a severe thunderstorm, but I didn't care. I just had to go out and get food. So I got in my car, I got soaking wet. My car almost wouldn't start for a second, and then it was so hard to drive. But at the end of it, I would manage to get to my local fast food place and actually ended up getting food, and that's basically served a need to fulfill my food and a need to fulfill my craving. That's basically a good time when I had a need and I was able to meet it. Thank you very much. And back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thanks, Mr. Bukhari. Yeah, you proved when there is a will, there is a way.
Of course.
Next, I will have question for now. Okay, Mr. Stesh. Which celebrity would you like to invite if you get chance on Thanksgiving Day?
On what?
On Thanksgiving Day, or think about any get together in your family. You get chance to call any celebrity. Which celebrity you would like to call?
Which celebrity? Live or dead? Will it be a hyperbole if I said I would like to invite Mr. Narendra Modi?
My favorite one.
I don't think so, but if I had to, he has single-handedly taken the country from where it was 15 years ago to being one of the top nations and the most sought after leader in today's modern times. He lives not for himself, he lives for the nation, and he is completely selfless. I know there are a lot of people who are against him, and I'm not a supporter of his party or anything, but as a role model, he has done so much for the country. And I think having him come over and spending a few minutes with him or even an hour with him on dinner would be a nice thing. And I don't think it would be a hyperbole. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Stesh. Do we have more minutes to add another question for Another member? Or what is the time limitation?
I guess we have some time because we have until 7:11 for the topics, and it is 6:59 so far.
We
Okay.
have still three, maybe three.
Okay, so next question is for Mr. Madan. What you think is the best way to thank someone? Who would you like to thank?
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, Tabletop Master of the Day. What's the best way to thank anyone? Just simply appreciating that person, what that person has done for you, and thanking him, and then remembering him. Something that person has done for you maybe many years ago. If you keep on remembering, keep on appreciating whenever you meet or referring to somebody else, talking about somebody else, that is the best way to pay your gratitude without being hyperbole. Be honest in your own gratitude, what you're paying and what you're doing it. So the simple word is just saying, thank you, I appreciate what have you done for me. And that's the simplest way to do it. Thank you to anybody. And back to you.
Sorry, Anupama, I would like to say that I'm looking at the agenda. So agenda has wrong timings on it. Instead of 5:30, it says 6 p.m. to start. So I guess we should maybe ask one more question and then wrap it up.
Anupama, you're muted.
I think everybody get chance to speak. So I can ask next question from Shilpa. What's the best thing? What's the one thing that you would love to do in your lifetime that no one knows? What is the one thing you love to do?
Yeah, it's a good question. Thank you for the table topics question. Thank you for that. I love to be calm and do my best in every work what I do. Because life is the God has given me a life. I don't know whether how many life I born. I don't know about that. But this life, I want to achieve something. I want to do better job. But I'm trying every day. I'm learning to make it success. But I don't know whether I'm going in the right way. So I'm getting guidance from most of the top gurus or like I watch YouTube channels or something, yoga gurus. But still, there is many things to learn. I keep on learning to be a better person. Thank you. Over to you.
Thanks, Shilpa. As you are doing a lot of efforts, and I'm sure you will achieve what you want in your life.
Thank you.
Definitely. I think that's it, Mr. Paul. I think we are good, right, on table topic? Or then
Thank you, Anupama. I think we can.
I think there is a mistake on the agenda. We have 20 minutes for the evaluators. That's too much of a long time.
Yeah, that is.
Right. So we are okay to carry on if we can. If somebody haven't taken it, I think we can take one more.
I think need a general evaluator for maybe 10 to 12 minutes, and then
no, it should be 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's GE overall. When GE conducts all those roles, it combines all those roles individually in it. So the timing reflects the overall time. For all the evaluators and every quiz master. So when GE runs the role, he will be asking for evaluation. So all that time is included in 10 to 12 minutes
Yes.
or whatever, 20 minutes.
Sorry, I just had a quick request. I know that we're going to be doing evaluation soon. Is it okay if I can do my evaluation first? Because if something came up, I have to go early. So can I do my evaluation?
If you want to switch place with me, you know how it works.
Yeah.
Okay,
$50.
so e-transfer $100, contact@paulchima.com.
We accept rain checks. I know use.
Yes, you got it. You will do it first.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So 20 minutes includes all those reports, Mr. Chauhan.
Okay, thanks, Toastmaster. Back to you now for our next segment.
Thank you, Table Topics Master, for conducting this awesome Table Topics round. So the next part of our meeting is an important portion of a Toastmaster meeting. In this round, constructive feedback is given to each speaker and as well as to the overall meeting, so that members can benefit from the evaluators, experience of the evaluators, to become better speakers. For this, we have the general evaluator to conduct the session today. I would like to hand over the session to general evaluator of the Toastmaster meeting, Mr. Toastmaster Satish Prabhuji. Please be welcoming him.
Thank you, Toastmaster. I would like to begin right away with calling on the evaluators for the speakers. And as Muhammad had requested to be the first evaluator, I would like to call him on to evaluate Haseen's speech. Go ahead, Muhammad.
All right, thank you very much, General Evaluator, and thank you for the quick adjustment. Sorry, something came up, that's why I had to switch places. But yeah, so I would like to begin by congratulating Mr. Haseen Ahmed for completing his speech 2 under the presentation mastery. It's really good pathway, and I was honestly, like, as I was listening to his speech, it was really excellent. I know that we aren't right now currently in person, so the feeling of online can't really compare to the feeling of in person. But nevertheless, I'm going to continue and conduct my overall evaluation of him. So, Mr. Haseen Ahmed. So first of all, I'm going to begin by talking about what I really enjoyed about your speech. Then I'll talk about what I think you can improve on, and the last one will be how you can improve on those. So what are the tips? What are the suggestions? That's going to be your main key takeaway from that. So what I really enjoyed about your speech was I really enjoyed the fact that you asked the question that are we living in a single world, and then you paused for a good second and you turned to face us to the audience, and that question honestly got me thinking as well that what does he mean by are we living in a single world? And then as you went on to explain the world, behind in your mind that's there filled with emotions, filled with all sorts of imagination, that creativity. I personally enjoyed that part too, because even I have this question myself. I often ask myself, and is the world I'm living in, is this the actual real world, or is there another world that's like, as far as the eye can't see, is it's hyperbolic of some kind? And I really enjoyed the fact that you used the good hand gestures during your speeches, because hand gestures, they really give a meaning to a speech. It's much more different than going up there, and just speaking, without using any hand gestures to when you're trying to make a transition, when you're trying to make a point, which I felt that was a pretty good thing to do as you did your speech. Now, the thing which I felt that you could improve on a bit, like I did notice that you were kind of like pacing, moving back and forth. I know it was good that you stood up during the speech, which I think is really good, especially since we're doing it online. But just try to limit that, the pacing that you do while you're moving your speech. And this happens to everyone, even including myself. Sometimes, like I'm standing and I won't even realize that I'm moving back and forth every single time. I just subconsciously end up doing it. And I also felt that you were using your hand gestures a bit too much while you were trying to say your speech, but that can be fixed with good practice. And also that you can, if you can, try to like raise your voice modulation as you speak, because I know that we are speaking through online means. So sometimes like there were times where I felt that you were mostly speaking through the same voice modulation, but that can be improved. Like there's nothing to worry about. That can definitely be improved. Like I said, it happens to everybody, even happens to me. So and the last part of my evaluation would be how you can implement these changes. So what my mentors have told me, and what I've heard from several other experienced Toastmasters, is one of the best ways to improve your pace and everything is practice saying your speech in front of a mirror. Because when you say your speech in front of a mirror, you see how you look like to the audience, like how your lips move, how your eyes blink, how your head turns, and even like if you pace back and forth, you immediately pick that up right away, and how you use your hand gestures a bit too much. So that would be an excellent type thing to do, to speak in front of a mirror, or if you can like record yourself while you're saying a speech, and focus on where you feel like you can increase your voice modulation to emphasize on a point, or to explain something better. You can use hand gestures for that. But nonetheless, excellent job, very good speech done. I really enjoy the title, and I wish you the best of luck on your next speech topic. And back to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. Wonderful, precise, lot of detail. I'm sure Haseem will find a lot of growth points for his evaluation and feedback second part of the speech. Awesome. Let's move on to our next evaluator, and this will be the evaluator for my own speech, Mr. Paul Chima. Can you come and evaluate my own speech? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. GE. So today I'm going to evaluate speaker Satish Prabhu. Are you properly insured? This topic is of such an importance, and thanks for picking this up, because people need more education on this. They don't know what insurance means, and specifically the word properly in your title has a lot of significance to how people should look at insurance. And you defined it in a very apt manner. It's the risk management. And you talked about strategies to overcome this, like it was avoidance, reduction, retention, and transfer. Risk is everywhere. Even if you don't drive, walking is a risk too. Sky can fall on you. You never know. And then when people have legislated insurance, they go for it. But unfortunately, when a child is born, government doesn't say, before you get the possession of a child, you should have an insurance of a child. Maybe someday that will happen. And you talked about theory of decreasing responsibility, and the graph itself was very, very elaborative. It charts the complete lifespan of a human being's life. This is great, and I really enjoyed that chart. And then you went on to compare all three different kinds of insurance: term, whole, and universal. Fabulous job. Now I'm going to come down to your presentation. It was very nice, neat, less clutter, graphics included, and it has a specific speed to it. It was not fast, it was not slow. I saw it, it was properly timed. Coming down to your voice, I would say it's fantastic. You are very confident, loud, and clear for me. Your pace was wonderful. You paused, you waited for people to grasp, and you did ask questions during your presentation. And what I would like to suggest to you upon, because there is a room for improvement in every speech. Like I said, the key word in your speech was properly. But because the subject is so wide, you went and explained different types of insurance. I would suggest that if you could cut down all other things and only focus on word properly, it will have way more impact on the audience. Because properly, people don't understand. If I'm making $50,000 a year, how much insurance should I have? What are my liabilities? and how long I want those liabilities to be taken care of if I pass away in an accident or natural death. That's where you will have to figure out how much insurance someone needs. I see people having insurance of 100,000, which means nothing. And they don't understand. All they say is, I am insured. In their mind, they are happy with it. So if you could take that particular aspect, then people can come back to the insurance advisor and try to figure out, so I need this much insurance. What do you think is the better option? That could be part 2 of your speech, where you could talk about, say, last presentation was properly, and let me tell you about different types of insurance products available in the market. We all are trying to work on modulation. I'm not 100%, but I do see a lot of difference when people use voice modulation. Are you properly insured? Versus, are you properly insured? These two ways of speaking this sentence makes a different impact on the audience. So I guess you understand what I'm trying to say. Overall, you always come up with great speeches. You have great mannerism, you have confidence, you are composed, and love to see more of your speeches. Good luck. Thank you very much, Mr. Sadish.
Thank you, Paul. Awesome, as always. You should think about going back to your evaluation contest. I'm sure you will do great. I know you tried your hand at the speech. You went all the way to the division. I encourage you to also look at the evaluation and make our club proud. Let's move on to our third evaluator, Mr. Rajendran, who evaluates Shilpa's speech. So, Rajendran, please
Thank
do
you.
the honors.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. So today I am going to evaluate Ms. Toastmaster Shilpa, and the topic, the title of her speech was The Power of Letter B, Dream to Achieve 3 Bs. I was wondering, before we started the meeting, I was just wondering about those 3 Bs, and I was trying to come up with some options, but finally when she started speaking, I just realized all those the words, and I'm glad that Shilpa's husband actually triggered her to think of these and like gave her a direction to be a better person. And I think she achieved that. It's the dream has already come to true for Shilpa. The way she organized the content, I liked it, and it was really informative from the topic point of view, and I was able to get to know about these 3 Bs as well. I can also share this information with my fellow members and as well as my friends. And I think the purpose of her speech was to avoid the R counters or to reduce the R counters and excel in her speech. I understand that she has just begun her speech and public speaking journey, and this is her level 1 and project 2. She really did well, and the content was very well organized, and she gave her the full justification to the title, and we all got something to know today about Shilpa's 3 mantras, like the mantras about 3 Bs. And the way she explained or carry out the content was good. Eye contact was also good. The gestures was also good, and she was in a comfort level to give this speech. And speaking of some improvements, as you all know that all of us, there is always room for improvements and to give some constructive feedbacks. And I would also like to encourage her to listen to, just repeat or listen once again to the feedbacks that just Satish and Paul gave for other speakers. In addition to that, yes, voice modulations is something that she can improvise a little more. And I haven't heard any. In fact, I myself have not spoken a single word of this word of the day. I was trying to come up with the situation, but all I could do was an example. Like, I know I have ton of talents, but that's just a way of exaggerating things, but I couldn't incorporate the hyperbole word into the speeches. But besides that, yes, I liked all of the overall content of speech, and I definitely look forward to hear more speeches from Shilpa. And yeah, that's all from my side for today. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Rajendran. Again, I think this is your first time evaluating someone, Rajendran?
Second time.
Second time, okay. Yeah, otherwise it would be a trifecta for you. If you know, if you do any horse racing thing, trifecta means 3. You scored on 3 different bets. That's what is trifecta. You are an SAA, you are the T-Mod, and you are an evaluator. So you are doing 3 roles today as well. Awesome. So that concludes our evaluators for today. I would now like to move on with my team of reporters who have been listening and keeping tabs and are ready to give us a feedback on our different aspects like time and grammar and our listening skills. So I would like to start first with our quiz master. Our quiz master was Paul Chima. So Paul, if you want to take the stage and lead us with the quiz.
Yes, absolutely right. Guys, you all can unmute your microphone because there won't be much time for raising hands and seeing you speak. So let me get to the first of 8 questions I have today for all of you. And am I being timed, Mr. Chauhan?
I think so.
Okay, thinking is better. So the first question comes from Satish's speech. Why do we need insurance?
To cover the risk.
Risk management.
Risk management, fabulous in as per presentation. Good job, Anupama and Mr. Chauhan. So the policy loan is available on 2 types of insurances. Which ones are those?
Temporary and long term? No.
No.
Whole
Anyone
life,
else?
and whole life and universal.
Anyone else?
Whole life and universal.
Yeah, I know.
Term insurance
Oh,
and
I know.
universal.
Oh shit. Oh.
Very universal. Fabulous. Good job. So you were listening to the presentation. Steve, I told you, your presentation was very nice. All righty. So Shilpa took a bold decision in Montreal. What was that bold decision?
To learn French.
Yep.
Very right. Fabulous. Good job. All righty. And she also talked about a beauty aspect. And what beauty should a person have? What kind of beauty should a person have?
Inner beauty.
Beauty is in hearts, giving smiles, love unconditionally.
Beauty of heart. You were very close, Anupama. Yeah, Carlton just fired in darkness. And Shilpa gave suggestions to her team. What was that suggestion? Sorry, Haseen. I remember your advice last time.
Use from Google and then customize it.
Take a shortcut.
Yeah.
Take a shortcut, yeah.
Good job. So see, Shilpa, people listen to your speech and listen with a lot of attention. How many words we live in according to Mr. Haseen, and what are those?
2 words, inner and
Inside
outer.
and outside.
External and
And
internal.
outer. External and internal is more appropriate. Yes. What industry Mr. Haseen works in?
Civil engineer.
Construction.
Civil construction.
Good job. What is the definition of hyperbole without looking at your agendas.
Aggressive
Exaggerating.
exaggeration.
Exaggerated statements.
Exaggerating statements. You all got it right, guys. Back to you, Mr. G.
Thank you, Paul. Awesome. That was a very interesting. I always look forward to being a quiz master. I visit other clubs and I find many clubs do not have this interesting session and they never know about it, or for some whatever reason they don't include it. And I then suggest, can we have a quiz session? And they say, oh, okay, sure, you can be the quiz master. And then that becomes the most interesting part. And it's the way the person brings the energy, the quiz master. And that's exactly what Paul did today. He makes it interesting. Quiz master has not just the role to ask the quiz, but also make it interesting. And that's exactly what Paul did. So which makes audience or all the members more engaged in what has happened. Thank you so much. So the next reporter I would like to call on is our grammarian. And grammarian, please do the honors and tell us how we did as a team, individually or collectively.
Before starting, I would tell you the name, who is the winner. And that is Mr. Raj. So he used a lot of time. I noted 6, but I noticed even after that he used it a lot. So. The other thing I will suggest him, do not use got a small shortcut when he speak. I think it doesn't sound very professional when you use shortcut words. I gotta go there like that. Some people, I notice he used gotta. Then Shilpa used and so in her speech. Haseen Ahmed used like a couple of times, and then so was a lot of time. The word of the day, we have not, I know this word was a little bit of different, so could not be used that much, but I would say it was used only for 7 times. 2 times Mr. Satish used, 2 times I used. Raj used it once when he was saying I could not add it in his conversation today. And then Mr. Madan used 1 time. He also explained that he was not able to use this word. But anyway, 7 times is not that bad. Still, we are good. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Anupama. That was a wonderful report. You are keen and using hyperbole in our everyday sentences is a challenge. But I think we lived up to the challenge. MCTC is always up for any challenge. Thank you. Going forward, the last reporter is Madan Chauhan. I would like to call him to give the timers report, please. Madan Chauhan.
Thank you very much, Mr. G. My report is as the speakers first. Stacey's speech was 9 minutes and 42 seconds. Shilpa's 6 minutes 58 seconds. And Haseen 6 minutes 13 seconds. And then is the table topics, Carton 1.28, Paul 1.45, Bukhari 57 seconds, Satish 1.117, and myself was 1.10, and Shilpa was 1.05. That was the table topics. Valuations, Bukhari Muhammad was 3.54, Paul 4.12, Rajendran 3.10, Quiz master report was 2 minutes, grammarian 1.5 minutes. I'm almost just like a minute. And now is the GE to finish it off. Thank you.
Thank you, Madanji. Very, very detailed report. Thank you so much for keeping all the details of the time. And I think I need to do a better job of making sure my speech is within time. So finally, my report as a GE. Kudos to Raj for tackling 3 different roles. He's always the SAA, started the meeting on time. He sent the meeting invite on time. And I have noticed, as an SAA or any other role that he takes on, takes it very seriously and tries to follow it through. And once he masters it, you can never expect him to make any more mistakes, which is a great sign of a good leader, up and coming leader, Raj. So keep that up. The SAA role, I have noticed you follow it thoroughly with the script, and you also, when you adjourn the meetings, also you have some things that you do and you do it properly. So keep that up. As TMOD, this was your first time, but you again did a great job. Listen to suggestions. You were looking for help, and we expected that you will make mistakes. So it was all good, but the way you kept your confidence and the way you conducted is great. A couple of suggestions I will have for you. When you introduce speakers, don't make it bland. Now the next speaker, don't do that. Try to give some bio. You can prepare upfront by asking them for their bio, or you can make it up on the spot. You know the members personally now. Say something about them that makes them feel better when you introduce them. Just 1 line or 2 lines, and then introduce the speaker. Madanji and Paul also helped in between when there was a time where you had to give a break for a minute, and Rajendran followed through. So again, we work together as a team, and that shows how we work together and how dynamic we are as a team. Wonderful job there with Madanji and Paul trying to help Rajendran as he struggled through some of the things that he had to do as a role. The speakers, wonderful job. 3 different topics, all very valid. Shilpa, I've seen you coming up as a mature lead, mature speaker. You had a very specific objective of not using any crutch words, and I think you really did a great job. All you need to do is carry that objective now going forward with every speech you give. There is a big difference between the last speech you gave or the other speeches you have given so far and today. A big, big world of, I can say, from a mole to a mountain hill. And I'm not, this is not a hyperbole. This is exactly what you did today. You actually, that's the difference between your last speech and this speech. Last speech, you were staggering, stuttering, using too many words. You were not confident. Today, you had that voice. Wonderfully done today. Haseen, again, you are also coming up as a budding speaker. Very good job with the way you presented yourself, your poise, your confidence. Just work on some of the tips that Muhammad gave you, and you will be a great job. One more suggestion I'll give you for speakers: do not lose the momentum you have. Do not take a break now and say, I will give a speech in the after 2 months. Don't do that. Try to find a spot and keep that pace, because that's what will help you. The roles that played by Anupama as a grammarian, wonderful job, Anupama, even when you first explained your role, and then as a table topics master, and again at the end, you are doing a wonderful job, awesome job with the way you explain things to others. Keep that up. I love that. Awesome. That brings the quality back into a meeting when there are roles takers who do an extra thing by making sure that they explain thoroughly and and that engages the audience much better into the meeting. Paul, evaluation, again, I already gave you the feedback right after you gave me the evaluation. Awesome job. There are others here. They can all look forward to you, including me. I look forward to you when you give your evaluation. And I would love to learn some of the things, the way you do it as an evaluator. And Madanji, again, as a timer, you come, you do whatever roles are there, and you just take it easy in your stride. And as always, you are inspirational. And we are missing Carlton here, but Carlton again was awesome when he was on the meeting and the way he fulfilled some of the roles. So with that, what are the things we can do a little better? We can probably engage a little better. I think we need, as a club, we need to engage with each other better, more often than just in the meetings. Meeting time is show time. It's just a show time. But the show cannot happen without a lot of work that goes on in the background. And that work needs to happen offline, where we engage with each other. You should not be waiting for your VPE or your president to start some conversation. Take the lead. If you are going to be a future leader, take a lead, start a topic. We can have a discussion offline. If there is something you need help on, or if there is some discussion you need help on, we can always meet offline on other days, not necessarily on just the day when there is a meeting. Other than that, I think I will conclude my speech as a president as well, and I will pass it back to the Sergeant at Arms to adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator and our President. Yeah, overall, we had a wonderful meeting. So the next meeting will be held on November 7th at 6 p.m. However, the education session will start at 5:30. I would highly encourage you to to make use of it. And with having said that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for taking part of this meeting today.
Can I ask a question quickly?
Please.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the 31st of October, from 3 to 4:30 p.m. I need a couple of guys as a judges for my Gavel Club's storytelling contest. Just
okay.
two will be okay if they can offer time.
Yeah, you can put my name.
Okay. It will be from 3 to 4:30 p.m. on 31st of October.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay. And one more, if I can be. Okay. You can tell me later on if you have time. Thank you.
Thank you, Madanji. So over to you, Satish ji, to take the role for the next meeting. Or
Yeah.
sorry, it's a VPE.
Yeah,
Paul.
it will be Paul.
Yeah.
Basically, I can assign roles in the Easy Speak, but if there are speakers, because that's the only thing I cannot assign, I would just like to have the speaker's name and leave rest. I will auto assign them and ask them to confirm it. So quickly we can just fill in the roles for speakers who would like to speak next meeting, which will
Rajendran.
be
Rajendran wants to
November.
speak.
Yeah, I want to give.
Rajendran?
Yeah.
Okay, Rajendran.
If there's nobody else, I will do it. Speech.
Okay. Madan Chauhan. Anyone else? Shilpa or Haseen, you want to continue your momentum with the evaluation and feedback part 2?
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, Shilpa will do it. Awesome.
Yeah, actually, in the pathway, I completed the level 1, right? I need to, I can just mark it. I completed level 1, right? Or I should.
Yes, you can complete that, and then the request comes to us and we will approve it.
So next, I can take the next step, the level 2. Is it learning your style? I should go and just check what it is.
Yes, when you
Yeah.
finish, you can go to any path project in the pathway. But if you complete this, I think they're going to ask you for some review kind of thing. Once you review, it will pass the request over to us, and then we can just complete that, and you will be marked as done on that project level 1.
Okay.
Not only you would have done project level 1, but you will also have earned a point for the club.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a couple of projects completed, but I haven't done my valuation part of that yet. I'm going to do it soon.
Okay, sir. That will be great if you can complete that, because then we can show that as completed and get points for it. 6 points all for education. So we have 3 speakers and rest I will assign. Please check your emails, refuse it or accept the role. That will really help us speed track this meeting. And that's all I wanted to say. So we'll not waste much time.
Mr. Paul, I want to try Toastmaster next meeting.
Awesome.
Awesome. That's
Yippee!
good. That's very nice.
I know I will be nervous, but still I want to try.
No, there's nothing, no nervousness. That is a simple role where you have to just point fingers to the people and they will come on the stage. That's it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, easy role. It's easy role, but we can make it complicated anytime.
That's why it's good to try now before you make it complicated.
Yeah, it's nice. We are all us. There's nobody, at a higher level than other. We are all in the same boat, floating together. So don't hesitate at all. Shilpa did an amazing job, and I was looking at her and saying, like Satish pointed out, wow, what a stark difference from previous and current speech. And she got nervous when she saw timer cards. And I said, don't worry about that. Madan Chauhan doesn't bite. He just shows his cards. Don't worry at all.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to tell more. Still, I had something to explain, but I just forgot. Like in between, I just lost.
I noticed that.